Now, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to say an enormous thank you for listening. I feel so blessed and lucky that I get to do this for my work. Beautiful Inside is a passion project of mine to bring these important conversations to light around mental health, about mindset, how to heal and how to bring our best faces forward in the world. To do this, to help me in my mission, it would really help me if you would hit the subscribe button and be engaged. Let us know in the comments on YouTube or DM us. Just keep us across what you want to hear about, because I'm making this show for you and I just want to make sure that it's the very best show that it can be. So thank you again, and let's get into it. Beautiful Inside is brought to you by Blue Haven Pools. Now, pools have become much more than just a place to cool off. They're now wellness spaces in their own right. A moment in nature, magnesium mineral water for your skin, even a cold plunge in winter. We chose Blue Haven for our recent pool build because they've had over 50 years of experience building beautiful pools. We went with a custom concrete pool because they can be as creative as your Pinterest board. And if you're on a standard block, they've made it unbelievably easy. You can now literally buy a designer concrete pool online. Still owned by the founding family, CEO Ramonda brings both heart and intuitive design to every build. Stay tuned for our pool diaries at the end of this episode, where I take you behind the scenes of our build with Blue Haven. I'll also put some details in the show notes. Welcome to Beautiful Inside. This is a Sacred Six solo episode. I haven't done one of these for a while. Now, to remind you, if you haven't heard one of these episodes before, this is really about my journey. The podcast was born out of my own struggles, as you may or may not know. At the end of 2023, I had a mental health crisis, anxiety, burnout, parenting issues. Basically all got the better of me. I ended up going to a psychologist, and he said that I had childhood trauma from my parents' very messy separation. So it started me on this healing sort of journey. I ended up taking myself off to a rehab center because they had a trauma program that I really wanted to do. And I was basically cut off from the world for 3 weeks to do intense therapy, like group therapy. It was incredible. I was terrified going in, and I've actually talked all about it. Episodes 2 and 3, Beautiful Inside, are great detail. So if you want to hear all about it, all the things that so many of us have issues with in today's modern, overly connected world. And I wanted to create a safe space where we could talk about these things and really learn from others. So I started interviewing successful people who I admired and experts about their own mental health journeys, and the result has been incredible. And so here we are. This is series 5, episode 6 of my Sacred Six. And these are the things that I have been doing lately to keep myself mentally well, and also to put myself into a positive mindset. So number 1, the reason I'm here is I'm in my self-care corner. Now, this is such a special thing, and I do realize how lucky I am to have a space in my house that I can dedicate to myself and my healing. I know we don't all have a lot of space, but even if it's like a chair, a special chair, or a corner of your wardrobe, or it's really great to have a little space that's just yours and you put your special things in it. So I'll take you on a little tour. This was just like a little cupboard that was next to our bed in our bedroom, and I think the last owners had a desk in it, but we actually gave it a bit of a glow up and put this beautiful viola marble stone bench top in. We added this lovely mirror. We added VJ paneling and painted it so it has a very feminine feel. It's got that dusty pink. And the thing I use it mostly for is actually blow drying my hair. So originally I was like, I'm going to journal in it every day. And to be honest, my journaling is sometimes a bit patchy, but I've been getting better with it. And when I really want to rev myself up, I'll come in here and I'll turn on my infrared light. So this is an infrared light panel. So after a shower, I realized that I hate blow drying my hair and I find it a real drag. And so I'd always put it off. And then one day I realized that I could do it in front of my light, and I'd be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I come in here, I've got my, oh my gosh, have you seen this Dyson? This is the Dyson Supersonic RX. And I'm obsessed with the fact that it matches my color scheme. So I blow dry my hair, I'm in front of the light. I'm still nude, obviously, because the more skin that you can expose to the light, the better. And I honestly think it's helped with my pain. I think it's helped with my illness. I haven't been sick, touch wood. I think I've been a little bit sick once this winter, but for me, that is a miracle. Normally I am I pick up everything. I've always had a really bad immune system, but I think it might have something to do with the light. And there's a lot of research around how it helps mitochondrial function. So it's just amazing. Look how big it is. It's heavy. And sometimes I'll just put it into bed. Like if I'm feeling a bit under the weather, I will lie in bed next to it and I'll just rotate like a rotisserie chicken. I did a whole story on Beauty Kate, so I can link it in the show notes if you want to read more about it. I've got a discount code. I love it. I've just got special things. So I've got all my fragrances. I've got all my essential oils down here in the drawer so I can put them in a burner. I've got incense. I've got candles. I've got my prayer beads that I was given when I learned how to meditate. I've got my 5-minute journal. I've got body oils. So what I do with my body oils is when I'm finished blow drying my hair, I'll use a lymphatic drainage tool and I push all the lymph up with my body oil and get my lymph flowing, which is incredible for detoxifying, depuffing. Just, yeah, it makes me feel really good. I've got a derma roller that I roll my serums in with. This one's on Vitalite. It's got my name engraved on it. I've got Ayurvedic perfume by Taylor. So many beautiful ritualistic brands. This one is Perfume Elixir. I've got the AU here. I've still got all my old favourite fragrances as well, but I find day to day I wear my perfume oils more. And I've got roll-on, the Goodnight Co. roll-on before bed, and then I've got a Good Morning one as well. So I really this is my ritual space, and I really play up that sense of having a ritual. Sometimes I'll just lie down on the floor with my legs up the wall, and just listen to a meditation. I've also got sitting on this grounding mat as well, my vagus nerve stimulator. It talks to an app on your phone, and you put a conductive gel on. So when I'm feeling really overwhelmed and just crazy, I'll put this on, and then you put the app on, and you can choose the different settings. So you can say, there's anxiety, there's sleep, there's pain. Like if my back's really killing, try the pain setting. And that's meant to help stimulate the vagus nerve so that it helps your whole body, your nervous system relax. So that's a good one. This is beautiful. One of my followers actually told me to get this book, Healing Through Words. This is a really lovely book. And then this is one of my favorite photos of Max and I that I did the Dior campaign. And in the drawers down here, I've got all my hair product. I've got about 4 or 5 drawers dedicated to hair product. And I've got more body oils and skincare stuff. And it's just like an IKEA drawers unit. But I think just having a little space set aside to meditate in is so powerful if you can spare a little spot in your house for it. So number 2 would be energy healing. I've played a little bit with energy healing over the years. More recently, I did the spiral with Soul Healing Kelly, and she's amazing. She is an energy facilitator, I guess, and her story, she's a single mom. She was in a horrible situation, domestic violence sort of stuff, and she pulled herself out of it, and she is the most amazing woman. She holds space in a way that, she's incredibly intuitive. And I find that sometimes with these energy healing, it is a little bit like counselling and therapy, but it's less invasive and it's sort of more esoteric and kind of more, obviously more spiritual. So the Spiral is an 8-week course with Kelly where it's done over Zoom, and I would just set up my laptop or my phone next to my bed and I'd lie down, and Kelly would talk me through you start in the base chakra and then you move your way up the chakras, and each chakra is connected to an area of your life that you want to clear past trauma. So it kind of incorporates EFT, inner child work, emotional clearing. And Kelly's incredibly intuitive. So she pulls out these things. She kind of does muscle testing. So I guess it's a little bit of kinesiology, but remote. I was amazed at how powerful it was even through Zoom. So I would have these full body chills and shivers and shakes, and you can feel it, energy, whether or not you are, a skeptic or you're very science-based, there is no denying that we are energetic beings and that we feel each other's energy, and that we're also, so when someone is healing you through energy, you can most absolutely be changed by them. I'm feeling, since I've finished the course, I've got one more session to go actually, and that's the one where she kind of pulls everything together. You have a few weeks off and then you come back together. I'm feeling a lot more focused. I had some sort of blocks around public speaking and I didn't really want to do it, but now I'm feeling like I want to do more of it. I have sort of changed my attitude around that. She said she would help me with that, and she has. I guess it's really helped me express my story. It's also helped me with, self-love, compassion, all those things that when I came out of SPP, the treatment centre I went to for my mental health, it was incredible. I was so full of self-compassion and understanding, and that stuff, you can slip into old habits with, the self-talk, the inner critic comes out. So doing this kind of work is incredibly powerful because you remember that you are your greatest companion, that you are together with yourself for your whole life, and you have to be kind to yourself. So many of us have these repetitive voices in our head and limiting self-beliefs that we've been given since childhood. And part of the journey and the work that I've been doing has been really recognizing when they're in the back of my head talking to me or stopping me from doing something. So working with Kelly has really helped clear some of that stuff and really helped remind me about the importance of that self-compassion. And also it's cleared some stuff I had around goals. So setting goals, journaling. I think for a long time I was too scared to write things down, or I didn't really believe, or I was worried that I wouldn't achieve them and then I would be embarrassed by myself, or some part of me thought that I wasn't deserving of the things that I wanted. So I wouldn't even put them into words. And so it's taken a lot of this work to really go, what is it that I want? And start to, and be bold and be like, wow, let's ask for these crazy things and see what happens. And I think, and I'll get to Mel in a minute actually, because some of the teachings have been great. But I think once you start, so what I think I learned mostly was it taught me to get out of my own way. So it's been really helping me to less procrastination, more taking action, not putting off that email that I know I need to send. Like I've just been getting there and doing it. So thank you, Kelly. You're amazing. She wants to take me through the womb next, which sounds even a little bit more hippy-dippy than the spiral. But, I think the whole feminine energy thing is quite strong as well. So I'm curious about that. But check her out. She's incredible. If you're a brand with purpose and you want to reach smart, emotionally engaged women who love beauty, wellness and lifestyle, then let's talk. Podcast ads are powerful. Listeners trust them. But with Beautiful Inside and Beauticate, it doesn't stop at audio. We offer layered, thoughtful campaigns across podcast, editorial, email and social. We've helped dozens of brands connect deeply with our audience. And we've got the client love notes and case studies to prove it. If you want to advertise with intention, head to beauticate.com/advertise and let's make something beautiful together. So while we're talking about energy healing, I recently did a spinal energetic session with Dr. Sarah Jane, who is a renowned chiropractor turned energy healer, counselor, founded this thing called spinal energetics, which is a healing modality again in energy, but it's a bit more physical. Although she doesn't really touch you, she sort of reads your body. So I had a one-on-one session. It was a short session. Again, definitely felt something. She was telling me things about my body, where there was pain and what it means. And she kind of unites Chinese medicine with yoga and Buddhism and pulls together all these theories. There was a lot of accuracy in what she was saying. I'm going to go back and have another session with her next time I'm in Melbourne, because she's just, I really loved her. I interviewed her for the podcast, so stay tuned for that. I've also been doing breath work. So the other thing I've been doing a lot of is breath work and sound healing on that spiritual realm. I hadn't really done it before or been that moved. I think I did one sound session before and I was like, plinky plonky music. Yeah, that's kind of fun. But I did a really amazing one with Tanya Alajalani when she was in Sydney recently. She's an amazing breathwork and sound facilitator. We had a really great chat. So we did this really strong breathwork session where it was like almost a bit Wim Hof, and then at the end you hold your breath and then there's this full body rush, which is incredible. Combined with the sound, it was like, whoa. And my intention was to let go of a lot of the anxiety that I'd been having around parenting, particularly my teenage son. I've been having a lot of anxiety around screens and probably try to control things a lot. And so I wanted to really let go of that and focus on our relationship and stop being so controlling. And after that session, I really felt a lot of movement and release about that. So again, another situation where the energy work cleared some block I had, and just it kind of shifts you into a different state of thinking about things. So whether that's energy or whether that's mindset. And then number 5 would be yin yoga at my beloved Modern Movement yoga studio in Mona Vale. It's like a 7-minute drive. So when I get up at 5:45, I can just get there in time. I've been trying out yin yoga and I'm loving it. I've found yin really painfully slow, but I'm now moving into my nervous system era. I'm constantly looking for ways to calm my nervous system. So I'm doing a lot of yoga nidra before bed. So Insight Timer, so many free, amazing meditations on there. And the Mind Valley app is really good too. Like a nervous system reset, massage, yin yoga. Yes, because I've realized that my whole life I've been in a constant state of fight or flight, and partly it's the ADHD or the ADD that I have, and I'm still on the medication, and I've also recently been on a different antidepressant for my anxiety. But actually this one was prescribed to me by my gastro, who I've been having issues with reflux and my neck and shoulder pain, and she thinks it could be this form of arthritis called ankylosing spondylitis. I'm still waiting to see a rheumatologist, but she said in the meantime, to manage the pain, I could try using this antidepressant, which has had a lot of studies around pain management. And I have to say, it has helped me immensely. So that combined with my ADD medication, I would love to get rid of all medication one day, but it's helping me stay on a really even keel emotionally. And that combined with these nervous system things that just deregulate or downregulate my nervous system that have really been helping. So, Tim Chamberlain is the yoga teacher on a Sunday night at Modern Movement. He does the most incredible session. It's like you go to like another plane completely, like you feel like you've left Earth and you've gone into the cosmic realm. And Rose is really good as well. So definitely keeping up the yin yoga. Obsessed, legs up the wall is a nice thing to do before bed, just to kind of get into that state. If you've got a red light, that's amazing. Or a red light, like an LED mask, you can put that on. And number 6 would be mindset and motivation. So I've been listening to loads of different podcasts, but Mel Robbins, I've been hearing about this let them theory, and she's very big on Instagram, TikTok and podcasts, and she's got her Mel Robbins podcast. But I actually started reading the book, and then I started listening to an audio book, The 5-Second Rule. And that's been amazing. Like, it's been really helping me get out of bed in the morning. I encourage you to have a look at some of her techniques because they are really powerful. And when you go, if you're into the spiritual realm, energy healing and all that kind of bit can be great for sort of clearing blocks that you have. But I think then you've actually got to put into action some of the stuff you've learned. And actually, once you know what you want, you have to actually go after it and get yourself out of your own way. So I'm finding her 5-second rule quite powerful in terms of shifting myself into a state of action rather than just thinking about something, because her theory is that it takes lots of little acts of courage every day to make yourself do all the things that we have to do to be healthy and successful, whether it's from a business perspective or a fitness and motivation perspective. But how often do we struggle with actually doing the things, meditating? I'm always like, I should meditate today. And then I just don't. So just counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and doing it. Anyway, it helps if you listen to the theory, because when my mum explained it to me on the phone the other day, I was like, yeah, that sounds good. But once you hear it explained, it does help. Hear it or read it. So that sums up my Sacred 6. I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to hear what you're doing for your soul and for your energy and for your mental health. What's working for you? Please comment either on the podcast or YouTube or social, or DM me or let me know, because I'm making it my business to try these things and report back for you so that we can share the love and the knowledge and the brain's trust that is the beautiful Beauty Cake community and Beautiful Inside community. So with that in mind, have a beautiful day and I'll see you soon. I'm here with the wonderful Ramonda Rose, Managing Director of Blue Haven Pools. Ramonda, I'm so pleased with how the pool has turned out. How would you describe what we've created here?
This is a heated plunge pool that doubles up as a spa with some jets along this seated ledge. When I understood the brief from you, and it's really on point with what's trending, is to ensure that you could use the pool as a pool or a spa, to have lots of areas for socializing, get some jets in there, create that water movement, and of course to keep things really neutral and whitewashed, and the color of the water is exactly how you want it.
I wanted it really pale and beautiful like this. I wanted it to feel very Mediterranean. Certain times of the day you get the reflection of the water on the walls and the palm tree, and it's magic. I'm so thrilled with it. Remember when we had that first call and you were saying before you couldn't imagine how we would turn what was here. It was all vegetation, it was tropical, it was dense, it was dirty and old, and there was an old cabana here. Like, the transformation is pretty phenomenal. I think it's definitely added so much value to the home. So you guys totally nailed the brief.
Thank you very much for having us create something this amazing for you at your home. We wish you many, many years of enjoyment with it.
Thank you so much.